Very good afternoon. And I think you have come from Kerala. I was told from or agriculture university or forestry college. Okay, forestry college. You are students of MSc or oh, PhD students are also there. They are pursuing. Okay, and others are MSc students. MS students. Okay, very good. This is part of your tour or some study program or for a tour? Institutional visit. This is every year you conduct. Okay. And I am Venkat Reddy, Director Institute of Forest Biodiversity. This institute, I am actually basically forest officer. I am on deputation to this research institute. Since past 2 years I am here, and you are the faculty. Your good name? Okay, Mr. Iqbal. You are okay. You are also faculty, both of you. Others are students. Okay, nice. And I think it is raining heavily since past 2 days. I think it is interrupting your visit. And okay, welcome. Actually, they are not given any specific topic or anything. We will interact with in general because they are forest students, and we are also working on forestry area research, especially biodiversity conservation, and our mandate is also same. And students like you forestry students, they are most of them are coming to ICFRE as scientists or other persons. And ICFRE is the biggest organization in India in forestry research. As all of you know, it was established in 1906 in Dehradun as Forest Research Institute, Imperial Forest Research Institute at that time during British period. And we are working under it. We have 9 institutes basically. This is one of the institutes. Our if we take the history of our institute, it was established in 1997 as a small center under IWST Bangalore. You must have visited Bangalore also, but it is redesignated as Institute of Forest Biodiversity in 2012. And our mandate is also biodiversity conservation, and especially we cater to the needs of the forest department. In Kerala, I think you have State Forest Research Institute. KFR is a very good institute, and similarly, our institute is also working on forestry research. And our basic mandate is biodiversity conservation, but we support forest department, farmers, and students like forest college students like you, and other stakeholders like forest academy trainees, and they regularly visit our institute. And our scientists, we have entomologists, pathologists, genetics, and ecologists, and soil scientists. They are working on different fields. And we have some consultancy projects of Ministry of Environment Forest. We execute projects as well as sometimes we conduct awareness programs also. Whenever any students, we are regularly conducting trainings to Kendriya Vidyalaya students also on Prakruti program sponsored by MOEF. And they come for especially for this biodiversity study, this botanization, and our lab visit. They regularly come. And this forestry trainees also they visit too, especially this range officer trainees, and state forest SFS officers they visit too. Ours is a small institute, not a very big institute, but it is, we are improving regularly. And coming to our forestry research, we uh, take research projects, especially we are doing people's biodiversity registers also we have done for state to forest, state to biodiversity boards. They have assigned this work. As you know, this in 1992 there was CBD Earth Summit. During the Earth Summit, we have, India is also a signatory to CBD in 1992. And subsequently the supplementary agreement was also made on in 2000. This uh, Cartagena Protocol on biosafety, especially to regulate the transboundary movement of genetically modified organisms. And CBD taking the mandate to this conservation of biodiversity is the main mandate, sustainable use and fair and equitable distribution of um, benefits arising from genetic resources. This is the basic mandate. And after subsequently, we have India also made to implement the provisions of CBD, we have made this Biodiversity Act in 2002, and based on that, in 2003 also we have established NBA. NBA is that Chennai NBA, National Biodiversity Authority. They are basically the regulating the biodiversity uh, use, but they assist and give uh, uh, procedures, rules, and any other thing. They guide the state forest department as well as because they are the major enforcing agency, state forest departments. They regulate the biodiversity conservation. But biodiversity includes not only forest biodiversity, this agriculture biodiversity, other biodiversity also. And in PBR also, as per Biodiversity Act, it is mandatory that every Gram Panchayat should have a biodiversity management committee, and they will prepare the biodiversity registers. For preparation of biodiversity registers, our taxonomists, our scientists helped, and we have prepared and supplied to State Biodiversity Board of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. And I think in Kerala also they must have completed State Biodiversity Board. They have in state level, and apart from that we are working on uh, these forest departments also. They are assigning work of this carbon sequestration and preparation of biodiversity assessment of you know uh, territorial divisions for preparation of working plans and soil sample analysis. We have taken a major target of the soil health card project also. We have taken up all forest divisions. We are preparing soil health cards for territorial divisions, and we are collecting samples in Telangana, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, and we are preparing soil health cards like similar to, I think ICR also they have released soil health cards for agriculture lands. Similarly, we are preparing soil health cards for forest areas also, for all territorial divisions. It is because any forest productivity depends on soil health only, site quality. Site quality decides the productivity of any forest land, and we need to know what kind of soil is suitable for what kind of plantation. And that is the with that intention we have taken up this project, and we are in the process of making soil health cards for carbon, nitrogen, and hydrogen and other major NPK and minor nutrients. We have they analyze and we release soil health cards for their health, soil health status we release, and that will help forest department to take up any plantations, any other taking up any other uh, plantation activity or any other um, management aspects also. They will help. Apart from that, we our institute biodiversity studies we are taking up in various in consultancy project like environment impact assessment study, some of the mine areas, some restoration study also we are taking up in mining areas, and rehabilitation work also we have taken up. And apart from that, this major project we have taken up is rejuvenation of rivers of India. That ICFR has taken up this major project. Especially our institute has studied the rejuvenation study of this Godavari River. This is a catchment area is falling in Maharashtra, this Karnataka, Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh. All these are the catchment areas. All forest departments of these states are involved. We have given a detailed project report for rejuvenation of this river Godavari. Similarly, other institutes, our sister institutes, they worked on various rivers for rejuvenation of all these rivers. This is the major problem. These rivers are dying, and it is necessary to protect their catchment areas, especially. For that reason only, we have prepared this detailed project report on rejuvenation of Godavari, and IWST Bangalore they worked on rejuvenation of this Krishna River, and IFGTB on I think this Kaveri River. They are working on it because ultimately this forest health status decides the rivers health of the river, and they are uh, the catchment area lies in the forest area only, most of the catchment area. And for that reason only, we have given various prescriptions for wherever forest area is there for these biological measures, wherever the revenue land, other areas are there, some civil engineering measures we have prescribed. We also take up some consultancy projects from NGT, also refers some cases Recently, we have taken up this damage assessment study of river Suvarnareka that falls in West Bengal and this Orissa, both the states, it is bordering both the states, but it originates from Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand area, and we have studied the damage assessment because there was nowadays, as you know, sand mining is a major problem in all the rivers. That is damaging the rivers. They are not only damaging the rivers, water table is falling, it is causing floods, and many other disturbances in these riverine areas, ecological damages, a lot of ecological. That's why the NGTA, as cases are coming up on river, the sand mining issues, we have prepared a detailed report for restoration of Suvarnareka River and for damage assessment and ecological services foregone, whatever future ecological services it was supposed to deliver, those ecological services foregone, all those things we have studied and made a report to submitted to NGT also on restoration of and this Suvarnareka river, and our scientists are also working on it. And apart from that, we take tree improvement programs because forest departments they need good clones for any raising any plantation activity. As you know, this even British period itself they have started plantation activities. I think in first tea plantation was made by Britishers in Nilambur, in Kerala only. Since then we are maintaining our forest scientifically, and this for FRI also they are working on it. Especially they worked done enormous work on this taxonomy, especially this champion and safe classification. During those that period, they have made these our now 14 types or 16 types forest types. Now you are forest students, no? I think champion safe classification 16, two more added earlier, 14 were there. I think 16 forest types. Since I think CBD also specifies we have to protect our biological resources, not only genetic resources, and we have to protect our biodiversity at species level also. We have to protect at ecosystem level also. That is also important. Because India is a mega biodiversity country. We have more many types of ecosystems. They support species. We have to conserve our ecosystems, and this is the concept of ecosystem level conservation, so that we can ensure species level conservation. And we have variety of many races, varieties of plant varieties. We have many animal races, animal varieties, animal breeds. This species genetic level also we need to conserve our biodiversity. And we have recently we have established cold storage facility in our lab, because we are rare endangered seeds they are collecting in our forest areas, and they are prescribing for this ex situ conservation measures also they are prescribing, and in situ conservation measures also they are studying. Apart from also cold storage facilities they are developing, so that this cryopreservation we can make this our genetic resources, so that if in nature if they plant or animal they extinct also, we can preserve it. Genetic it's a seed or it's genetic material, we can preserve it for in future generations. We can preserve this sustainability concept also we have to. And this CBD also second aim is to we have to manage our resources and use our resources sustainably. That was the second goal, and for fulfilling that goal we are working on this uh, ex situ in situ conservation of rare endangered threatened plant species. We are working on it along with other institutes of ICFRE, and this Lucknow, their Institute of Plant Genetic Resources, Institute of Bureau of Plant Genetic, IGPBR, I think. At Lucknow, they are working on all seed variety, agriculture seed varieties they are protecting. Similarly, our institute also for forest genetic resources conservation, we are working on it. And this is the aim of the CBD also for second aim. And for fair and the third aim was the CBD is the fair and equitable sharing of benefits. For that reason, we are preparing this people's biodiversity registers for all biodiversity management committees at each panchayat level, They are maintaining this people's biodiversity register. In future, any uh, new invention is made from using these biological resources, the people have the right to get to royalty or any other financial benefit or any other benefit. That with that intention only we are preparing people's biodiversity registers, and not only forest biodiversity, agriculture biodiversity, and animal biodiversity, and insect and microbial biodiversity also. We are recording and documenting, and it is incorporated in people's biodiversity registers. And nowadays, even though NBA is regulating, state biodiversity boards are also regulating. Within India, this state biodiversity boards like Patanjali, any other pharmaceutical company, for extraction of any phytochemicals or any use of any forest biodiversity, they need to take permission from state biodiversity board. But rarely they take. When any plant material or any animal material, or if any foreign company they want to use, they have to take permission from National Biodiversity Authority, Chennai. But this implementation is not, awareness is less. That's why implementation is not happening properly. Nowadays, many private firms they are isolating phytochemicals. They don't transport to directly or plant material. They isolate active compounds and they export. That is the thing. Many active aromatic compounds or essential oils, any other chemical compounds, drugs, they isolate, and they even sandalwood also. They don't export sandal because it is banned. It is a CITES. It is endangered species. CITES IUCN list. It is mentioned as vulnerable species. They can't directly export because the quota restriction will be there, and international agreements will not allow to only this Director General of Foreign Trade, Ministry of Commerce. They will allow limited quota of this. Uh, Even the permission is required to be taken. It is can't be exported freely. With that intention only, they are what they are doing. They are isolating sandalwood oil, and that they are exporting as a finished product. And these things should be regulated so that our institutes like ICFR institutes, IWST, they are training these customs and revenue, customs people and other enforcing agencies to check the wood or timber or any other plant material. They send for sample testing in IWST Bangalore, any wood or timber species any found. But rarely chemical compounds. Our laboratories also we have limited facilities for regulating. But if we, there is no clear cut policy of the government also. There should be organized market should be there for it can be. If you want to conserve effectively, if we want to reduce pressure on biodiversity, we have to promote cultivation outside also. Even sandalwood cultivation now we are promoting. Before 2001, it was a royalty species sandalwood. It was not permitted to be cultivated outside. But nowadays we are cultivating in farmers' lands. This liberalization, after liberalization, the farmers are cultivating and they are selling. But there is no organized market. For that we have to create organized market so that this farmers can sell and it can be traded legally. And so that if it is not traded legally, then people resort to smuggle it, any biological resource, any that will not benefit anyway. And if we impose too much restrictions also, that will uh, create pressure on forest areas. It is not the enforcement is very weak. And uh, and our scientist, I think he has our plant pathologist. He has discovered some new fungal species also, and such. And she is Bharati Patel. She is ecologist. She is studying on, especially we are implementing some climate change project also. Climate change, it will affect our threatening our biodiversity in many, not only terrestrial biodiversity or marine biodiversity is also. um, there is a lot of threats due to this climate change issues and other pollution issues. And we are working. We have permanent monitoring stations for studying the effects of climate change on biodiversity. There we are recording the and maintaining the biodiversity status, so that we can it will this monitoring will continue for many years, so that we can know the effects of climate change for in the future. That And these are the, we have not only we have signed CBD, we have signed UNFCC also. India is a signatory to UNFCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and we have to come. We are committed to implement the international obligations. We have to reduce carbon emissions, and we have to sequester carbon. We have to uh, increase the carbon sequestration, and that is our uh, mandate, because we are also signatory. And coming to forestry, and I think you are working on your students, you teach all many subjects on forestry and wildlife and biodiversity conservation. All these things will be taught in forestry, your forestry courses, or I think yours is the only forestry college in Kerala. Okay, I think one of my batchmate is also from your Kerala, that your college, Mr. S. Rajesh, he is in our cadre only. Now he is an Arunachal Pradesh, CCF Arunachal Pradesh. He is my batchmate. And your college, many people come to Indian Forest Service also. And you have a lot of opportunities to come, whether to join in your state forest service or Indian Forest Service, or if you are interested in research, you can come to ICFRE as a scientist, and various the botany, forestry, and other agriculture sciences and other life sciences, and chemistry background science graduates are there, postgraduates, they are also coming to as our very good, they are promising scientists in forest service. Because in earlier there was not much importance given to agriculture research, but nowadays uh, its importance has increasing forestry research in India, because of this international commitments, or because of this increasing awareness about environment and forests. And government is also promoting, and courts also actively intervening in this conservation of biodiversity and protection of biodiversity, and reducing pollution, and reducing pollution of conserving rivers. Many NGT, National Green Tribunals, are also established, and only act that this Environment Protection Act, that is the um, main source for all regulations in India. And only one section 3, under section 3 many notifications were issued, this solid waste management rules, and this coastal regulation zone notification, environmental impact assessment notification, biomedical waste management rules. All other uh, rules have been, regulations have been imposed under section 3 of Environment Protection Act. That is the major act in India. But our courts also actively uh, uh, they are proactive. They are, even many public interest litigations they are entertaining, and they have passed many directions. Even in 1996, in Godavarman case, there were the Supreme Court has directed this entire the concept of forest has been changed. Earlier, only recorded forest, and that those were considered as the forest areas. But after 1996 Godavarman case, even private forests, wherever, even it is the non, those which are not recorded as forest areas, those were also considered as deemed forests. And we are imposing Forest Conservation Act, and this user agency, they need to take permission from MOEF. Even this private forest owners, they have to apply for forest clearance, then only they can cut their forest. Without that, it is not possible. But some, now they have this new Forest Conservation Act bill has been they are introducing in Parliament. I think in that they are giving some relaxations to promote agroforestry. Those which are grown trees outside the forest, they are exempted from Forest Conservation Act, and that is necessary. And now, earlier there was stress in old forest policies, stress on conservation only. But this 2021 new policy, they have divided, has been made in that they are also stressing to, we have to grow more trees and cut trees. Wood is good. Earlier wood is not considered to be good, but wood is a good, because if we grow more trees, and we can harvest and we can store wood in the form of furniture, or for building construction, we can use it and we can store it, so that we can store the carbon, and instead of, And India is a timber deficit country. We are imposing timber. We need to grow uh, timber because we have to increase our plantation technology has to be improved. Our productivity has to be improved, and for that we need superior clones. We are working on it. Our institute is working on casuarina, eucalyptus, teak, red sandalwood. We are releasing some IFGTP Coimbatore is also working on it. We are releasing for new clonal species for increasing, enhancing productivity of not only uh, this biomass production, especially for this plywood industries. We depend on plywood only, most of the construction and this construction industry, especially for house construction, furniture and other things. Plywood industry, biomass production, those especially in UP, western UP, there I think if you go and see there, these plywood industries are there in Haryana. They use only agroforestry produce, not from forest. um, they don't use any forestry trees. Only agroforestry produce they use. But now, because they are liberalizing, they can cultivate now. Now this teak is also no more a royalty species in even Telangana and other states. And if anybody can cultivate and they can harvest, they can use. Wood is good, and we can grow more wood. For that, we can need fast growing species. But fast growing species are also not always yield good timber. Even in Telangana, they have cultivated this red sanders after uh, taking the seedlings from forest department and IFB and other sources. But after the rotation period of 30 years, they are not developing grains. That not timber is not at all value. They don't have any value. But naturally grown timber is after 30 years it is more valuable. That depends on site quality, and what type of site quality favors which kind of timber, that you have to decide whether it is meant for only biomass production or for timber quality, that you have to decide based on the site quality. Even this sandalwood also, that grown in stress conditions in Karnataka, they will yield more oil content and more that sandal uh, aromatic smell they have, but not in other areas, like where cultivated areas they don't give the same quality. And for that to we need to have good research, and to otherwise farmers they don't take up without otherwise they will be in loss, no, if we ask them to plant sandalwood and red sanders, and when they harvest it, then they will not get anything. This is teak also. If they develop grains, then only they fetch good price. Otherwise, if they if the grains are not formed, then the teak that will not be have value, much value. And I think you must have visited. This is the first visit in Hyderabad, and you have visited forest department or other institutes in Hyderabad. Oh, okay, ICRISAT, I think they are also working on tropical this agriculture crops. I think they mainly, but they are also working on tropical plants only, and uh, that is also a good exposure. Very big institute, international level institution. It is there in Hyderabad, and we have agriculture university in Hyderabad. We have forest. We also have forestry college. We have in Telangana. There is a very good forestry college at Mulugu. If you get time, you can visit. Our adjacent campus is also Telangana State Forest Academy. They train forest officers. If you find time, I think you can visit. And anything you want to ask me, any you can ask. We can discuss. Otherwise, uh, our scientist will, our DCF is Mr. Sandeep. He is from Orissa cadre. He will also interact with you, and is Dr. Kavi Siddhartha is a plant pathologist. He is from agriculture background, IARI scientist. IARI passed out, but joined in ICFRI as scientist. He will also introduce about our activities, our research work, and other their achievements, and they will show our laboratory. I think it is raining. You can't visit our outside nursery or other plantation and other thing, but I wish all of you, and some of you can join in ICFRE as scientist, and you can some of you may join in Indian Forest Service or State Forest Service also. I think I wish all of you good luck for your future career and you are a bright foresters. And thank you very much. And if you want to ask me anything, we can discuss. Thank you.